Wow. You want more organic traffic? Really? More? You? Oh, greedy. I love it. What's up, people? My name's Tim, I'm with Exposure Ninja, and welcome to this video all about how to increase the organic traffic to your website in not one, not two, but 10 steps. Step number 1 is to define your SEO goal. Now, I know what you're thinking, all these 10-step things, the first step is always define your goal. Well, I know what I want more organic traffic, you freaking idiot. Wow. Greedy and rude. Well, let me tell you, actually it does matter what your goal is, and you probably want to be a bit more specific than just more traffic unless you are selling adverts on your site on a cost per impression basis. See, most businesses are trying to generate leads or sales through their website, so actually just having a pure organic traffic goal doesn't really make as much sense as saying we want a particular number of conversions. So let's just do a little bit of quick maths. Let's say at the moment you're getting 10 conversions through your website every day, and you want to take that up to 30, but you want to do so with the awesome, lovely, free organic traffic rather than having to pay through ads. Well, if you want to go from 10 to 30, and let's say that you know your website's organic conversion rate is 2%, meaning you convert 2 out of every 100 organic visitors into a lead or sale, you need an extra 20 leads per day at a conversion rate of 2%, meaning you need another 1,000 organic visitors to your site, but not just any organic visitors. Before you start writing that long form blog post on Minecraft hacks, no, you want visitors with commercial intent. So the particular keywords that you're targeting are going to matter, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Step number next is to assess your website's current health and SEO performance. Now, I love picking on big companies, and they don't get much bigger than Balfour Beatty. Balfour Beatty is a $7.8 billion, not even dollar, pound, real money. Balfour Beatty is a £7.8 billion company, and we're just going to analyze their website's SEO performance. So if you love a bit of a rip, then enjoy this. So first thing that we're going to do, let's say that our goal is to turn the Balfour Beatty site into a lead generation machine, because at the moment it is not. It is what we call an investor brochure site, or a giant waste of time in marketing speak. Really, what we want to look at is how the site is optimized for SEO and where it's ranking currently. So from an optimization perspective, we can see straight away on this homepage, in the page title there, we have the word home, Balfour Beatty PLC. So we know immediately, wash out, not doing very well there, because they should be using their target keywords in their page title. It's very unclear from this page which phrases they actually want to rank for, and if we stick them into SEMrush, we find consequently they're not really ranking for very much that has commercial intent. Now, fortunately for Balfour Beatty, the majority of their traffic is people searching for Balfour Beatty because they're so well known. But if we just do a quick search of the phrases that they're actually ranking for, what I've done is I've taken out any phrase which has the words Balfour Beatty, because that is obviously people who know Balfour Beatty, they're expecting to get to the site. What we find is actually they're not ranking, particularly in the UK, they're not really ranking for very much useful stuff, stuff that would have commercial intent. So if this was your website, you'd be pretty disappointed at this stage, but you'd also be saying, great, this is a fantastic blank canvas. So we can see on this screen that we've got the keyword that they're ranking for here, the position that they're ranking on Google for. We don't really want to think about traffic too much for this, because this is very kind of approximate. This is an estimate by SEMrush. The volume of searches per month for this particular phrase, and cost per click. Now, cost per click is important even for organic search traffic, because it gives us an indication of how much commercial intent there is behind each of the different keywords that are showing here. So even though Balfour Beatty isn't going to be spending any money trying to advertise for piles, love it. If they did want to, they would be spending approximately £2.29 per click. But what we see here is a lack of commercial intent phrases. So what I mean by that is there's not really many phrases here that indicate somebody's actually looking for a company that offers what Balfour Beatty does. Possibly something like pipe fabrication, where they have a cost per click of £2.30, but not really very many searches for that term. Now, interestingly, looking through these keywords, it's not particularly clear actually which phrases Balfour Beatty wants to rank for at all. And this is really no surprise, because when we go on their website, the keyword targeting is pathetic. pathetic. Let me just show you some examples. So expertise is what you might call services. Expertise is the kind of inward looking way of saying services. Services is what we offer to people. Expertise is what we have. Very focused. Let's say that, for example, we want to go to railway engineering or rail engineering here. So this might be a page that they'd want to get ranked for terms like rail engineering firms, something like that, where there's not going to be huge keyword search volume, but the number of people who are searching for it who are kind of messing around is going to be fairly low. This is people who want a freaking company to build a railway. So average order value you would expect is going to be reasonably high. Now, instead of using a descriptive keyword optimized headline here, they've got tomorrow's railway today. Super conceptual, really clever, but doesn't actually mean anything if that's not what you're searching for. And you can see the amount of copy that they've used on this page to sell that service and include their variation keywords and all of that is almost nothing. So very unlikely that this page would rank for anything. So when we're analyzing a site like this, we'd say really not optimized for SEO. Other areas that you might want to check your website's SEO health is to log into Google Search Console, check for any errors, make sure that a good number of your pages are being indexed, things like that. Just making sure that Google's actually finding your website in the first place. Step number 3 is to find out who your target audience is and identify your competitors. So there's a few different ways you can identify your target audience. You can go into Google Analytics and you can use the audience information there. So one of the ways that you can analyze your audience, although you've got to use caution, is inside Google Analytics. So here you can see we've got the audience and then we've got overview. You can also go into things like demographics, so you can have a look at your audience's age and gender. Now, a word of warning here. Some of this data is okay, some of it is just plain weird, right? So if we go into interests, for example, what we'll find here is that the interests are very sketchy. Shoppers, value shoppers, 3.57%. Well, pretty much everyone is a shopper, right? So a lot of this stuff is really just, it's ambient noise. But the very best way to understand your customers is to actually talk to them. Now, if you don't talk to them day to day in your job, talk to your sales team, find out what sort of people are these. What you want to do is build up a bit of a customer avatar, but you also want to understand the particular phrases that they're going to be searching for. So go back and listen to sales calls, find out when your prospects are picking up the phone and talking to you, when they say, hi, we're looking for a company that does X, you want to know, okay, great, so that's the phrase that they're using to describe us. Those are the sorts of terms that we want to rank in order to get more of those people. Now, another thing you can do inside analytics is not just looking at all of the users that are coming to your site, but actually looking at the people that convert. So you can just set up a segment, which is just the converters, and that will give you data on not just all of the people that are coming onto your site, but who's coming onto your site who is actually turning into a lead or sale. Next step is to understand your key competitors. So let's say, for example, that you're trying to rank for a phrase like cheap mobile contracts. What you'll be doing is having a look at the sort of businesses that are ranking for these. Now, not just in the organic results, but actually even in the ads as well, but we're gonna start on the organic results. So here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some competitor analysis on each of these different sites. I'm just gonna give you a very quick overview now, and then we're gonna look into them in a bit more detail later on. So for example, here we've got Uswitch ranking positions 1 and 2. We've got Money Supermarket ranking position 3. We've got Phone House ranking in position 4, then Affordable Mobile. So what do we know about these sites? Well, firstly, it's not the mobile networks themselves which are ranking for this term. Actually, it's comparison sites, isn't it? Who've got the first 3 positions. So Uswitch is a comparison site, they're ranking twice. Money Supermarket is a comparison site. Don't know what Phone House is all about. Let's just have a quick look. So this is a commercial site, right? So this is a shop. So this is the first kind of shop site that's ranking for this term. So if I'm a shop, I want to find out what Phone House is doing to get ranking in a world that seems to, at the moment, be dominated by comparison sites. Now, if I'm going up against a comparison site, likewise, I want to know what these companies are doing to get that visibility. Right? So what sort of content have we got on this page? Look, we've got all this text copy here. There's a reason that text copy is there. It's because it's needed in order to rank. We've got this page here with all these easy to use filters, which is going to increase engagement. So we can start to build up a picture of what sort of page does it take to rank for this term. If we want to outrank Uswitch, we're going to have to make a page which is better, more useful, and better optimized for this term. Here's the Money Supermarket page. Look, they're going straight for engagement here. They want to get you clicking in and using the site because that's a good signal for Google, and it's also great for visitors as well. So we've got that nice straightforward thing there, and then look, we've got phones, and then we've got the content with internal links through to other pages as well, and more links as well. So you can see what it takes to rank for the particular search terms that you're targeting and what sort of businesses are ranking. Now make a note of these because we're going to come back to them later on. In fact, I don't want to keep you waiting, so we're going to come back to them right now. Step number 4 is to research your competitors' SEO and content strategies. So what I would do in this case is I would get each of these different businesses here. So we're going to start with Phone House, and we're going to stick them in SEMrush, and we're going to see what they're ranking for. So by putting a website like this into SEMrush, we can quite quickly build an understanding of what they're doing to compete in the space that they're doing. Now I'm seeing this for the first time, but immediately I can see the term Phone House has had 11,000, almost 12,000 searches. So that's a lot of branded traffic. So people are searching for this. So I'd imagine that they're doing some significant offline or other online marketing, which is generating good branded impressions, which will obviously help their ranking. And we've also got a kind of different spelling of Phone House. So that would be people who've heard it mentioned or had it been referred to them. So that's quite interesting. And immediately we can build up a bit of an understanding about what they're doing not online in order to get this sort of visibility. So we can see the keywords that they're ranking for, and we can be fairly safe that these are the keywords that they are targeting. So mobile phone deals, quite a broad term there. We can see the page that's ranking for that. So let's just have a look at that page, and we can quite quickly develop a bit of an understanding about what their pages are doing in order to rank. So not too much information visible immediately, but then you click on that little read more thing and there it is. So there's all the copy. Good to see. Old school SEO still lives. Nice straightforward user interface, just getting people in, finding their deal and clicking through the site because they're really looking for that early engagement. What else have we got? SIM only deals is a phrase they're targeting. Look at that, 165,000 searches a month. Very strong phrase to rank for. What are they doing to rank for that? So we can just start to build up a bit of an understanding about what it's taking to rank for each of these different terms. Now, interestingly, we've got the similar sort of approach here. Here we go. And there's a lot of information on these pages. You know, it's rare to find a page that's ranking for terms like this which doesn't have a lot of information. Certainly those dreadful Balfour BT pages that we saw earlier, they're never going to rank for anything. But these pages are exactly the sort of stuff that we expect to see ranking these days. So the next thing that we might do is we might head over to Link Explorer on Moz, and we might stick in their website to see what sort of link profile they have and what sort of SEO they've been doing. So with a domain authority of 43 out of 100, actually they're not doing as well as we might expect for a very, very competitive term like this. So with around 1,000 different domains linking to them for 12,500 inbound links, they actually don't really have the sort of link profile that you might expect. Comparing them against Compare the Market or Uswitch or someone like that would have much, much bigger visibility, but obviously something about Phone House is helping them to rank. So we can then have a look at the particular links which are coming in. If we just click on inbound links, we'll be able to see what some of their biggest inbound links are. So we can see that they've been doing a bit of content marketing. They've been getting some coverage in places like the Express, which is interesting. So this appears to be getting national press. They're getting some coverage in very big newspaper type sites. They're on daily deals sites. They're on Money Saving Expert as well. So we're just going to have a look at some of these links and get a bit of a picture about what sort of outbound link outreach they've been doing in order to get the sort of visibility which they're using to build their business, and on Tech Radar as well. So this is definitely a conscious SEO campaign. They're not ranking accidentally. We can see here, you know, some nice coverage on Tech Radar. They've been doing this for a little while. If we go back and see when their traffic started to take off, so really in this second half of 2018, things started to get serious, and I would expect that we'll probably find these links have started appearing around that time. If I could only get on the Express's website battling through all of this rubbish. Yeah, here we see, so the Express, this link went live in August 2018, which is around about the start of that big old increase. So we've got that one. We've got this one here on Money Saving Expert. When did this one go live? doesn't seem to have a date, but we've got the link from this post, which is great. What have we got here? So this is the one on Tech Radar, so 27th of November 2018, so all around that sort of time. So we can see now, immediately we know if we're going to compete with them, we pretty much know what we've got to do. It's going to be the highest possible tier websites that we need to get really good content pieces placed. Link back to the website, loads of information on those pages. So step number 5 is to begin to develop your content and SEO strategy. So what we really need to do is understand where your website is weak on content targeting the particular keywords that you're going after. So let's say that you were trying to rank for sim-only deals and you had very little content on your page about that topic. Well, that would be an obvious place to start writing up some content. So you'd look at what sorts of blog posts you could be writing. You'd look at your product category pages. How could you get more information on those pages to make them legitimately the most useful and interesting pages on that topic? So really you're looking to see where is your website weak on content that you need to beef that stuff up if you're going to compete for these keywords. And you should have a pretty good idea based on the competitor research that you've done by this stage. Another thing that you'll want to do at this point is identify your list of target keywords. So which are the phrases that you really need to rank for in order to hit your leads or sales goal? Now we have other videos on how to find those keywords. They'll put a link somewhere up here or down there or maybe even over there. Once you've got that list of keywords, you want to map each of those keywords to a particular page on your site which you're going to focus on for that keyword. So by now you've got your prioritized list of pages, you've got your prioritized list of content topics, and you've got your prioritized list of keywords. Now it's time to start writing. Time to improve your existing website's content. When you're doing your competitor research, have a look at the quality of the content that is on the sites which are ranking for the phrases that you want to be targeting. A good benchmark is to make the quality of your content 3 times as good as that stuff. 3 times! Fancy that. Well, honestly, it's probably not that hard. A lot of content on the internet is absolute rubbish. So rather than just writing absolute gibberish, every different thing that you can think about the topic, here's how I'd suggest approaching this. Ask yourself every single question that a potential customer might have about this topic, and then simply write the answers for each of those questions. So let's say that we're talking about sim-only deals, for example. Now you could write 600 words on sim-only deals, but you would end up running out of things to say pretty quickly. But the other way of approaching this would be to think of all of the questions someone might have about sim-only deals. So, am I locked into a contract with sim-only deals? What are the best phones to use for sim-only deals? Which networks offer sim-only deals? How much does a sim-only deal cost? Is sim-only better than pay monthly? How much do I save? Can I get pay-as-you-go on a sim-only? You could probably come up with 20 different questions about that topic. Then you just write a couple of paragraphs for each one, and before you know it, you've got 40 paragraphs of amazing content on that page. Now, a word of warning, not every page can sustain 40 paragraphs of text. That might be a little bit too intimidating, but you get the point. If you need to increase the amount of content on a page, don't just make it spammy crap. You can actually make it genuinely useful for people at the same time as helping your SEO. Step number, the one after that, is improve your website's technical SEO and usability. This step includes things like making sure your website makes sense on all different screen sizes. If you've got massive cookie banner messages which obscure everything and require your mobile users to delete 5 different pop-ups before they can even see anything on your page, you might be surprised to know that stuff is not good for your usability. Likewise, if you've got huge loading times, that stuff can really harm usability and that can impact ranking. So it's good to make sure that things are loading nice and quickly. You can use tools like Google's Page Speed Insights, although do take the results of tools like that with a pinch of salt. The best way to test your load times is to actually use your website and see what sort of load times you're getting. Also in this category is finding and fixing things like 404s. Now 404s are an inherent part of the internet. If I go to yourwebsite.com/Tim Cameron Kitchen, I would expect to get a 404 and that's okay. But the important thing is that you don't have links on your website to other pages on your website that no longer exist and produce a 404. In SEO terms, that's known as bad juju. You can also do things like increase increase internal linking. So what you're doing here is increasing the number of times one of your pages links internally to another page. For example, let's say you've got your page all about your best SIM-only deals. So you might want to link through to a page all about pay monthly versus pay-as-you-go contracts. If you don't want to answer that question on the page, you think there's another page on your site which is better served to answer that question. Now, the benefit of adding those sorts of internal links between the different pages to your site is that obviously you're showing Google that that page is particularly relevant for the term that you're using in the link, and it also helps you pass link juice to the relevant pages on your site. Step number, we're nearly done, is to create a content marketing strategy and stick to it. So remember all those juicy links that we saw that Phone House has? Well, if you analyze your competitors and you find that they've got a whole bunch of juicy links and you've got a whole bunch of not juicy or not links, then you need to close the gap. So to do that, obviously you're gonna have to go and get some links. Now, this video is not about how to go and get links. We have other videos which will appear all over the place about how to do that. But what I will say is that the competitor research that you do can be a really useful way to find out the sort of publications that you might be able to get links for. Pay close attention in particular to the people who are writing about that topic on that website. So for example, we saw in Phone House, we saw they had links from places like the Express, and we know that it's David Snelling who's written this. So what we might do is we might go out and find David Snelling, we might do some outreach to him, find out what sorts of topics he's going to be writing about in the future, and see if we could provide an opinion on one of those topics to get a link. Step number penultimate is to consider some inorganic ways to boost your website's traffic. I thought the whole reason we're doing this SEO stuff is that we don't have to pay money to Google and Facebook. Well, under certain circumstances, you might want to pay money to Google or Facebook for some traffic. For example, let's say that you wanted to get ranking on a new page, which is yet to be indexed. Well, you might run some PPC traffic to that page to show Google that there's people going on it to help it get indexed, but also to get a bit of an understanding about user metrics on that page. So monitoring what's happening with people on that page, where are they clicking, where are they scrolling, are they bouncing off? All of this new user data will help you so that you can improve the quality of that page, and that'll help you increase its ranking over time by implementing the things that you observe in your tests. And we have a free PPC guide, which will be linked in the description to help you get started with this. Now, some people are often surprised that we'd even run PPC as a kind of SEO tool, but there's actually a lot of data that Google Ads can give us, which SEO can't. So for example, when we're running a pay-per-click campaign, we'll be able to see which keywords are bringing conversions, not just traffic, but actual conversions. And that can then be sent to the SEO team to inform them to say, right, you know what, this particular keyword here is bringing us loads of traffic, but it's not bringing us that many conversions. Whereas this keyword here, not so much traffic, but loads of conversions. That traffic is really good quality. Now, we'd only get that data from pay-per-click, and we can then take it to the SEO team and say, right, okay, forget this one. This one's just vanity. This one, this is the phrase that we want to go after. So having pay-per-click in conjunction with SEO can often be good news. Step 10. Step 10, you made it. Maintain your rankings over time. Now, it sounds easy, but actually it's not, because you might think, right, great, we've got that visibility, we're ranking for the target keywords, fantastic, we're all good. SEO is constantly changing. To get top ranking, you've just knocked someone off. And remember that there are other people who might be watching this video who are going to be taking you on, trying to knock you off. So you've got to constantly stay at the top of your game. What got you where you are might not be enough to maintain that ranking 1 year from now. So you've constantly looking at positions 2, 3, 4 and all of those to identify what are they doing, who's rising up the rankings, who do I need to stay ahead of. SEO is not a one-shot thing, it's a constant thing, and you've got to have that awful paranoia. You're always looking over your shoulder thinking, who's coming to get me, who's coming to steal my lunch. So my main takeaway for you in this video is to trust no one. And on that cheery note, let's summarize. So step number 1 was identify your organic traffic goals, whether you're just looking for visitors because you're selling ads, or whether you're looking for conversions because you're selling stuff. Step number 2 is to assess your website's current health and performance. You can use SEMrush, you can have a look at your on-site optimization using the quick process that I showed you. Step number 3 is to identify your target audience and your competitors. Understand which keywords are they searching for so that you can be making sure that you are targeting those in your SEO work. Step 4 is to research your competitors' content strategy. So what sorts of topics are they writing about on their website? How much content are they posting? And how good is it? Step 5 is to create your own content and on-site SEO strategy. So having a really honest look at your website. What are we doing poorly? What are we doing well? What sorts of topics do we need to be writing more about? And what sort of stuff are we doing that really hasn't worked so far? Step 6 is to get out there and start improving that content. So beef up your content by using the sort of questions that people are going to be asking about that topic. Make sure that your stuff is genuinely better than the other stuff that's ranking at the moment, because that's the only way that Google's going to justify putting you ahead of more established websites. Step number 7 is to improve usability and technical SEO through things like making sure your site resizes on different devices, making sure that you're reducing the 404s that are popping up, and also making sure that all your metadata is sorted as well. Step number 8 is to create a content marketing strategy and stick to it. This is all about getting links. Now, you would have done some competitor analysis to see what sort of links your competitors have, so you're going to go after those links with the hunger of a modern millennial dog chasing a non-meat meat truck. Step number 9 is to promote your website and consider paid traffic sources like Google Ads to both get data and also improve your page's performance. As dirty as that feels, yes, you might have to use some PPC to help your organic visibility. And then step 10 is to maintain your rankings over time by making sure any challenges to your throne are stamped out. And you're always keeping one step ahead of their content and their link strategy. So I hope you found this video useful on this whistle-stop tour through increasing your organic ranking. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of that stuff that people ask you to do to engage with this. You can even drop a comment if you've got a question about digital marketing, and we might use it to make another video on. Don't forget also to check us out on social media. We're extremely active everywhere, and that's not true. We're extremely active in a few select places: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget, if you want some help increasing the organic traffic to your website, you want professional help from real, legitimate, professional ninjas, digital marketing ninjas, then go to exposureninja.com/review. On that page, you'll see a form where you fill in your information, tell us about your business goals, and what will happen is one of our team will create a 15-minute video for you where we'll show you on the screen in front of you how to increase the amount of organic traffic and conversions that you're getting through your website. It's genuinely awesome. So go to exposureninja.com/review to request that today.